reading and understanding different kinds of English written literature. I have decided to focus on an example in order to show how I have developed my skills in reading and understanding different kinds of English literature. I have therefore chosen an example from the book The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Christopher Boone. The language used in the book is not like any other book I've ever seen or read. Since the narrator of this novel has the disorder called autism, I've learned a lot about the disorder, but I've also learned to understand different kinds of English, and this is one of the types. Okay, so I don't want to sound racist against the disorder, but I'll just call it autistic English. It is the first book I've ever read where the narrator explains why he wrote the novel in the novel. When I was reading the story, I had to go beyond what I usually do when I read a book or text. For example, when Bone said that seeing many red cars in a row would make it a good day and many yellow vehicles in a row would make it a bad unhappy day, I tried to analyze and interpret, but I realized that there was no deeper meaning with the cars at all. I thought that the colors red and yellow were symbolic of something. Therefore, I started searching on the internet for what the colors symbolized. I realized that there's no need for a deeper meaning in a text or book. Sometimes it's just how it is. That was how I learned to understand the very different kind of English written literature. Analysis and interpretation. My analytical skills developed when I read the crime novel Right Over the Edge. So yeah, I made like a quick summary, but yeah, it's only in the text, not in the movie. Our job as a group was to find out whether the man who was with the woman up on the trail was telling the truth to the police or not. There were two significant clues in the story, but one of them was a misleading clue. The first significant clue, the woman who stopped to drink stated that she heard her scream, "No," when she fell, but the woman who died was at that time only a 5-minute walk away from the place. The only thing she could have heard would have been "oh," because when you hear an echo, it will start at the first vocal, as in this case was the letter O. The second significant clue. The second considerable clue was that the man told the police which road he took, and that was a really tiny road. When the other woman went up to the same place, she went into a spider web. That meant that the man could not have taken that road. We started thinking what we were going to do with the two clues. Therefore, we analyzed what clue that would be the most reliable, and we decided to go with the spiderweb clue. That meant that the man at the novel was the killer. She did not fall out from the trail. Maybe she got pushed out or rather kicked out. Another example of how my analysis and interpretation skills has developed is from the text called Dispatches we worked with in our first topic, the Vietnam War. You have to be able to understand the text and its content to be able to interpret. I believe that the following sentence you're looking at is sarcastic. Based on the rest of the text, I came to that conclusion by looking at what was specific for this story, not any other story. For example, the place it takes place, and the narrator's emotions during the diary, and so on. Vocabulary within science and technology. My skills for this specific topic developed when I was working with the subject, CRISPR. It was a requirement that I could understand the CRISPR technology before I could use it and explain it. I have decided to include a clip from the CRISPR report to show you my understanding, because I do not want this assignment to get too long. Although humans became exceptional breeders, we had never understood how it all worked until the discovery of DNA in 1869. DNA, also known as deoxyribonucleic acid, is genetic information encoded by 4 different kinds of nucleotides. This information that is made up by DNA guides the growth, development, function, and reproduction of every living cell. DNA is simply instructions. Changing these instructions will change the organism. This is the premise behind genetic gene editing, and it has huge implications. Thus humans have been attempting to successfully do that since the discovery of DNA. Knowledge of historical, cultural, societal, and technological conditions within an English-speaking country. I have decided only to focus on the United Kingdom and the United States. So let's take a trip to the United States of America. There are some quite significant differences between the United States and the United Kingdom. For example, Americans often say, "Have a nice day," but the British do not want to say that because they don't want to sound insincere. Furthermore, there are some differences in the language as well. For example, almost all of us know the sentence, "I'm pissed," but what most people don't know is that it has two meanings. In British English, it means that the person who said it is really drunk, but in American English, it implies that the person who said it is furious. So, if we take a look at humor, I would say that Americans are more down to earth. They do not mind to make fun of their fears, like terrorists, for example.
Say hello to Bahir Hassan Abdul Hakim.
Uh-oh!
Welcome to our class, Bahir.
Thank you. Dude, not cool.
Why don't you take a seat in Kyle's empty desk for now?
Okay.
Brits prefers to focus on social losers.
Bus wankers! Why are you slowing down?
I tried to say!
Oh, Christ, Jay.
Oh, shit! Oh, no, they're coming! Shit! Drive!
Where? Where am I meant to drive to? Anywhere!
Oh, shit!
Anywhere but the pavement.
Americans do not hide their hopes and fears, and Brits is generally more comfortable with life losers if we focus on the humor part. Grammar. I have decided to focus on some examples we haven't worked with, because it's not fun to use some old assignments. I'll rather solve some new ones. Before I started English A, I was able to find mistakes all the time, but I couldn't explain why it was a mistake. I found 2 Del Pro It from 2017, and I have decided to solve some examples from the 2 assignments. So this is the first example I'll work with. You can see the sentence. For years, inmates have been exploited by companies. Okay, so yeah, we can see there's a mistake in the formation of present perfect. You create present perfect by using to have, not to be. So we should change that to, for years inmates have been exploited by companies. So 2 quick examples. The first sentence is, many US colleges are worried about their students may have a criminal record. The mistake is about, so it should be like, many US colleges are worried that students may have a criminal record. The next one. In America, deserve many inmates a fair chance after they leave prison. Okay, so yeah. The mistake is that deserve should be after many inmates. So it should be like, in America, many inmates deserve a fair chance after they leave prison. Okay, so this is just some quick examples I made from present to past. So yeah, I will, I would, I am, I was, I think, I thought, I'm doing, I did. The following Del Pro It I'm going to work with now is another one from the same year. So the assignment was to find 4 adjectives and 4 adverbs in the following text and write down what they adhere to. So yeah, I don't want to read it out loud because I think it's way too long to do so. But yeah, you can just look at the text and see what I found in it. Hey Charlotte, I know I was supposed to write like 600 words and I wrote like 1200 and I will sorry for that. But yeah, that means that I don't want to go even further into the grammatical part because my assignment would be way too long if I did so. Therefore, this will be the end of my assignment. Cheers.